Hi, welcome to another MyMaths walkthrough. This is 258 angles in parallel lines. Let's go. This gets quite hard. Right, so the three basic rules for parallel lines. First rule is this one, where we highlight this angle and then we can come down here, highlight this angle. We can join these together and these make a C shape. It's backwards C shape, and they're called co-interior angles. Co-interior angles are going to be add to 180. So this angle up here must be 50 degrees because these two have to add to 180. The next basic angle we've got in parallel lines are these two, where we look at this angle and we come to this angle here, we join these two together, and these two make this F shape. That's just line down. And what we know about those two is corresponding angles are equal. So this is 116 over here. And the last of the basic rules for parallel lines is these two. So if we highlight this angle and we highlight this angle and we join them two together, then we've got our Z shape. So we've got a Z shape going on, a bit stretched out and on side. But what we know about these ones, these are called alternate angles, and alternate angles are equal. So we've got 1, 2, 2 down the bottom here, 1, 2, 2 degrees. Okay. Now the first three questions on MyMaths are just to remind you the basic rules. After that, you've got to work out other angles to get there. So you've got to have all your other armoury together. So you've got angles at a point at 180 degrees around a point. You've got vertically opposite angles are equal. We've got angles on a line at the 180 and all these types of things. Alright? Alright, so let's have a look. So first of all, I'm going to start on the 80 degrees. I'm going to write the angles around here. So we know this angle over here must be 100 degrees because angles at a point on a line at 180. I'm going to write 80 degrees up here because angles or vertically opposite angles are equal, so these two have got to be equal, and finally these two have got to be equal as well, so angles at this point have got to across the point, vertically opposite angles are going to be equal. Now I can look for my parallel line rules. So the parallel line rules are saying I'm going to go with the interior ones, so co-interior angles at 180, so if I come down here and across there, these are the parallel lines. Then these two have got to add to 180 because they're co-interior angles, and therefore that one must be 100 degrees. And this one, I've got the angle on this side is 133 degrees. And now I'm going to go straight down to the bottom here because again I've got this co-interior angles. I've got to add to 180 degrees as well, so the inside angles have got to add 180, and that can give me that one to be 47 degrees. And the last question, starting on the 69. So the 69, I can take the 69 up to here, and that's using the parallel line rule. So I've got angles which are corresponding angles, so the F shape there, the F shape, we've got angles in corresponding angles are equal, so we've got 69 there, and then I've got angles at a point on a line at the 180, and that's going to give me 111 degrees for X. Okay, so I'm using different rules as well as the basics. I've gone through them fairly quickly because the next lot are quite difficult. So I've got a bit of work to do on these lots. Now for the first question over here we've got, it looks like you've got a Z shape, but in fact you haven't got a Z shape because when you do the Z, you've got to have, these are the parallel lines. So the legs on there are the parallel lines and these are the two angles. Now these two lines aren't parallel, so I don't have the Z shape, okay? So I can't get from here all the way down to here. So I've got to think elsewhere. Right, so let's have a look. I'm going to go with the 73. This side has got to be 107 because angles are at the point on a line at 180. We can then use the parallel line rules. These are your two parallel lines, so I can come down here, go all the way across to the X, and then I can say these two have got to be equal because it's that F shape. So the F shape, these have got to be equal, X has got to be 107. So there's X. Now we can do the same thing with this one, so we can come all the way down here, there's the parallel line. We can come all the way to Y, there's the parallel line again. So again we've got the F shape, which is corresponding angles are equal, so that one has to be 60 degrees, that had nothing to do with the 73. Over here on the triangle question, so let's just start putting some angles together. So I don't really know where I'm going with this question, I'll just see what I can work out. So I've got 125 in this corner, so that corner is 125. That makes this corner 125 as well, because corresponding angles are equal. So there's the F shape laying on its back, so I've got 125. Now the X has got to be angles on a straight line added up to 180, which tells me X has got to be 55 degrees. Okay, because these two add 180. This angle in here is going to be 70 degrees, because angles at a point on a line add to 180. That's going to give me, let's do a Z shape, so we'll do a Z shape there. So I'm on the parallel line now, there's the parallel line, there's the leg of the parallel line. That's going to be 70 degrees here. That's going to give me this one in here to be 70 degrees as well. Oh, in fact I don't need that now, do I? 70 degrees in there as well. And then I could work out what this angle is. This angle on a straight line inside this little triangle is 55 degrees, because angles at a point on a line add to 180. So in here I've got 55 degrees, and then in this little tiny triangle I've now got 70 and 55, so that's 125, and I've got to get to 180, so that makes this angle in here 55 degrees. Now then I spotted, just before I finished that, I spotted the fact that I had this triangle anyway. So I already had a big triangle with 55 there, 70 there, and I could have worked out the 55 straight away once I had this angle and this angle, couldn't I? But I didn't spot that when I was first going for it. I was just working out everything I possibly could. Right, this one's quite hard. So we've got three sets of parallel lines. We've got parallel lines there, indicated by the one arrow, parallel lines here, indicated by the two arrows, and parallel lines down here, indicated by the three arrows. So when I'm applying the parallel line rules, I have to be careful that I am actually using the right lines for the angles. Okay, so let's just be a little bit careful where we are. Let's start putting angles on. So I've got 62 here. If I use these two parallel lines, I can come down here and go all the way across, and I can get this one 62 degrees in here, can't I? Okay, so let's have a look. Where am I going to go next? Which lines? These are two parallel, aren't they? So if these two lines are parallel, that means that I can go for this angle up here. I don't know, I can even go for this one, can't I? So I've got that parallel line, come down here to that parallel line. This one and this one must be the same because they're corresponding angles. So I've got 46 degrees in this little triangle. So that's inside there. I've got 62 degrees in this triangle, so there's 62 degrees in that triangle. I don't really know where I'm going to go here, so let's go for this angle at the top there. So we've got angles in this triangle are 180, so we've now got 180, take away 62, take away 46, which is 72 degrees. So I've got 72 degrees in the top of that triangle. Now I can look at this big triangle, and I've just figured out that this one down here, so 72, 46, and this one must add to 180. That one's got to be 62 degrees in that corner. Alright, so this is going okay so far. What else have I got? I could say this triangle here, so come up here and come up here and come up here. So there's a parallel line, there's a parallel line. We've got interior angles, so I can get this one. Interior angles have to add to 180. So 180 take away 46 is 134, so I've got 134 there. Okay, what now? So now I'm going to go with this angle to this angle. So because I'm going up this parallel line, cross, and then down this parallel line, these two are the parallel lines. And again, I've got co-interior angles equal, so this one must be 46 degrees as well. Okay, because these, sorry, not co-interior angles add to 180 and are equal. So that one add to 180. And finally, I get this triangle to get to X, and these two add to 180, or these three add to 180, don't they, in a triangle, and that makes this one going to be 180, take away 62, take away 46, which is 72 degrees. And there you go, there's my answer. Now you see there's a lot of work involved there trying to get to that one. Right, this last one, I've got to get to this X here, which looks fairly straightforward actually. Let's just make sure I've got my diagram correct. Yeah, I've got the Y as well to find, haven't I? So anyway, I've got 53 at the top here because corresponding angles are equal, and that makes that one 127 degrees in here because angles at a point on a straight line add to 180. This is going to be 53 down the bottom here because corresponding angles or co-interior angles add to 180, so we've got 53, sorry. What else? So we've got 42 in this corner. We can come down here, we can have 42 in this corner, so that's 42. That makes that one 42 because vertically opposite angles are equal. This one's 53 because vertically opposite angles are equal. And then we know these two are both the same, and therefore if we go around this point, we've got to get to 360, haven't we? So let's see, well, we've got 360, take away 53, take away 42, take away 53, take away 42. So we know these two are 170. So that's 2 lots of the y because that's going to be equal to that one, and therefore y must equal 85 degrees. Okay, and that's it. So it's quite tough, this one, but have a go nevertheless and see what you can come with. A diagram is going to help you loads. Now, if I'd spent a little bit longer looking at those questions, probably I could have figured out easier ways to do it. I did spot things as I was going, oh, I could have done it that way. There's more than one way to get the answers on these questions, but diagrams, writing numbers on, really, really helpful. Okay, thank you, bye.